Titanic sank, people's true characters were revealed. Some emerged as heroes, and others as pariahs. Because this ship was so famous, we have a very clear idea of who was on board and in which cabins they stayed. Cameron has filmed this area on previous expeditions. This is the way into the suite of Bruce Ismay, president of the White Star Shipping Line. As head of the company, he occupied one of the 4 finest cabins on the ship. But in the end, he was one of the people to emerge from the disaster in disgrace. Ismay had personally requested the ship's captain, Edward Smith, to push Titanic to her limit, in the hope of arriving early and making a huge media splash. He also knew about the iceberg danger. He had personally received a warning telegraph, which he put in his pocket and forgot. Notoriously, Ismay climbed into a lifeboat, despite the convention that it was women and children first. He claimed later there was no one else around when he got in, but that was contradicted, and the press dubbed him Brute Ismay.
This is Bruce Ismay's suite. This is the guy that left the ship. 1,500 people still on board. We're in the suite looking at the fireplace.
That's good. Hold right there.
There's some kind of a thing sitting on top of the mantle here.
Getting into Ismay's suite was really interesting. On one of the shelves was a little box, and you just know that his tie clip and his shirt studs and his cufflinks are all inside that box, still sitting there.
It's all the wiring in the walls, but the walls are gone. What we're trying to do is figure out what style the room was. By identifying the sconce, we might be able to identify the style of the room.
One of the places that Cameron has been hoping to find all along with the bots is the cabin of Molly Brown, known as the unsinkable Molly Brown. Molly was a 45-year-old firecracker, the wife of a wealthy Colorado gold miner. She was traveling abroad and only booked a last-minute ticket after her grandson was taken ill. It was a stroke of luck for many other passengers that Molly was on board. She turned out to be one of the heroes of the night, helping other people to safety and assisting survivors.
Where Molly Brown was bodily lifted up and thrown in, and she had no intention of going.
Right. Now, was she just being macho?
She just said she was curious to see what was going on. You know, she wanted to go see what was happening everywhere else, and some man grabbed her and said, "You're going too," and threw her in the boat.
Molly couldn't really remember what room she was in, and all Jim knew to look for was a brass bed, which she said she slept in.
That's not a brass bed, that's a wooden bed. Not much left of it either. I don't know, Molly Brown said she was in a brass bed, but I don't see a brass bed. I think she visited somebody in a room with a brass bed.
Even today, touring the wreckage, it is still possible to get a feel for the opulence of Titanic's cabins and public spaces. And the twisted steel also reveals the amazing stories of people who survived the sinking.